It's 10 o'clock, so we'll start the Cabinet meeting. Welcome everybody to this meeting today with the Cabinet. Is there any apologies for absence? I know we've got two, haven't we? Sean and David.
Apologies for Sean, David, right, and Bill Tomlinson.
Bill as well, okay. Item 2, declaration of interest. Non-recorded. Item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. Moved, seconded. All in favour? I haven't got them to sign. Okay, I'll have to get them signed after. Right, item 4, Lee's announcements. Well, Sean hasn't given me anything to say, but I will say that just doing a bit of encouragement. I mean, you know, as we head through the winter and the winter pressures on the NHS, I would encourage everyone who's eligible to get their vaccine, whether it's flu or COVID, to try and keep themselves and other people safe, because you know, the NHS usually comes under pressure at this time, and we'd like to reduce that as much as we can. So item 5 is first home. So I'm presenting this report in the absence of Dave Wright. The Council have an excellent track record in delivering affordable homes in the borough, with on average 300 new affordable homes per annum being delivered over the last 10 years, 40% through 106 agreements and 60% through Homes England grant funding. First Homes is a government-mandated scheme for discounted market housing aimed at first-time buyers. The government have introduced national minimum criteria for first homes delivered outside of London. It is clear that the national first homes criteria do not positively contribute towards the delivery of genuinely affordable homes in the borough and are not a basis for meeting local needs. The government require councils to deliver 25% of affordable housing secured through Section 106 agreements as first homes. This is projected to impact around 30 homes per annum locally and would displace shared ownership properties, which are a better means of meeting local affordable needs on developments where first homes will be enforced. First Homes comes into force locally on the 28th of December. As a council, we are recognising that the national criteria do not help deliver affordable homes for residents in Telford Wrekin, and we're introducing a local criteria that will better reflect the housing needs of local residents. This will include increasing the minimum discount on the sale of first homes from 30% to 40%. The increased discount will make homes more affordable for those most in need, including nurses, police officers and teachers. Decreasing the initial price cap on first homes from $250,000 to $180,000. This will help target first homes at more affordable dwellings, including 1 to 3 bed properties. Decreasing the joint income cap from $80,000 to $60,000. The joint income cap will help prioritise the needs of key workers and allow joint households to purchase first homes. Introduction of a local connections test. This will ensure that first homes are targeted towards meeting the needs of local residents first and foremost, as well as those needing to relocate to the borough to provide care for relatives. And of course, priority given to key workers. Key workers will also be given priority to purchase first homes. The 40% discount income caps local connections test and priority for key workers will apply to all future resales of first homes. The Council are committed to increasing the supply of affordable homes in the borough and maintain its excellent track record of delivery. The introduction of local criteria for first homes is an active demonstration of this continued commitment. Therefore, I'd like to move the report as itemised in the Cabinet papers. For a second. Thank you, Paul. Any comments of anybody? Carolyn.
I think just to say, as you pointed out, it's a missed opportunity, isn't it, really, in terms of actually addressing affordable homes, in terms of the way that the scheme's been set up by government. But, you know, that is the national scheme. We have to work with it. And I do welcome the local sort of eligibility criteria that we've set, that at least opens this up more and helps to meet our housing needs better. But as I say, I just think it is a missed opportunity, and I'm pleased that we're obviously exploring other avenues that we can in relation to housing through New Place, through Telford Homes, as a way of actually addressing the housing need. But you know, it's a shame. This could have been better, I think, and could have really supported areas like ours to meet housing need.
Anybody else? Paul?
Yeah, it's as Carolyn has said, it's best of a bad job, really, isn't it? I mean, we're doing what we can do for the people of Telford Wrekin with this bit of a botch from the government, really. But we're doing what we can, and I think clearly officers have worked hard to get the best for the people of Telford Wrekin.
Any more comments? Nigel?
Yeah, thanks. Well, I'm just surprised that not more supportive, really. I mean, the scheme enables people to get onto the property ladder, so I would have thought that would be welcomed, particularly as it helps the low-paid and key workers. It will also help any homes that are delivered under this scheme will help to reduce the pressure on the rental property market. So surely that would be a good thing, because it'd be much better to have as many homes from a variety of different schemes available to the residents. I mean, the problem that we've got at the moment is that larger numbers of affordable homes are not being delivered, because although we might have a 25% target in the local plan, that is very rarely delivered. I mean, sitting on the planning committee, I lost count of the number of times that we've had applications from developers to either reduce the number of affordable homes or to eliminate them completely. So if we stuck to our local plan targets and dug our heels in on it, well then we would have a lot more affordable homes across the borough. So I think that's the key thing. But I mean, any scheme, sort of obviously, I would have thought that you guys particularly would have been keen to help key workers and the low paid achieve their aspirations. So I'm just a bit surprised, really, because anything that reduces the pressure on homes across the homes across the borough should be welcomed, really.
Nigel, Carolyn.
We look so
We do, yes. Oh, it's the beard. I think, Nigel, of course, as an administration, we're always going to support housing need. But as I say, I think we've got to recognise that this is a missed opportunity. You mentioned about affordable housing generally in terms of general policy and planning applications. But as you know, one of the reasons that affordable housing gets squeezed is that's set out in national planning policy in terms of viability. Viability is a material factor. It's set out in national planning policy that developers should expect a certain return, and so other things get squeezed. And that's the gift of government, isn't it, to sort of address that policy. But I think what would really make a difference in terms of housing is huge investment in social housing and in housing that that is a house for life, and that we can be sure of, and that's what we're trying to do with things like New Place. That's good long-term rented accommodation, good quality private rented accommodation that we provide for them.
Thanks, Carolyn. And I'll just add, I mean, we're, as Paul mentioned, we are doing the best of a bad job that the government's asked for us. I mean, it's going to deliver around 30 homes a year, when currently we are creating 300 affordable homes a year already through our current schemes. And of course, as we all know, shared ownership is available to anybody in the housing market, while this is only for first-time buyers. So, what the government's done is done something that is a bad job in our opinion, but we are going to do our best to deliver on that, and that's why we've created the local criteria to try and support key workers, as you rightly said, that we should be focusing on, and why we've changed the income cap and the price cap. So we are doing our bit to make this policy work for the residents of Telford Wrekin, and through New Place and Telford Wrekin Homes, we will be doing more affordable developments, because we do believe it's the right thing to do as an administration. Housing is something we care about passionately. That's why you've seen numerous reports come to this committee over the last few months, because we do care about residents in this town having better properties to live in and accessing the housing market. It's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Thank you very much. The next one is the Tibberton and Cherrington Neighbourhood Development Plan. Proceed to making the NDP. I'll present this. I can't make this any exciting as this, but here we go. The Tibberton and Cherrington Neighbourhood Plan has been developed by the Parish Council through consultation with local residents and feedback from the council officers. It reflects planning issues that are important to the parish and adds additional local detail to policies in the Telford Wrekin local plan. The council have been working closely with the parish, supported them at all points through the process, including organising and holding the referendum on the 11th of November. Over 90% of those who voted in favour of the neighbourhood plan. Once a neighbourhood plan is approved by Cabinet, it will become part of the local development plan and be used to assess planning applications in the parish alongside the Telford Wrekin local plan. The Council is committed to local decision making and local participation in the planning process and has so far supported the 5 parish councils to successfully bring forward neighbourhood plans. The Council work with 3 other parishes to bring forward their neighbourhood plans. These include Donington and Muxton, Arkham Magna and Sturtry and Brookside parishes. By way of comparison, we have 5 made plans and 29 parishes. Shropshire have 4 made plans and 200 parishes. So therefore I move the recommendation report following the referendum. Is there a seconder? Yes. Any comments? Paul? Do you want to comment?
No.
Nigel?
I think the main thing to note is that the over 90% response really. I mean that's pretty damn good, isn't it? And I just wish that all the public consultations were at that level, because then we really would be we really would be listening and doing exactly what residents want us to do. So I think we should congratulate them on delivering that in such a high approval rating.
No, it is very good. I mean, every neighbourhood plan that we've held, they've had a very high positive vote in favour of the neighbourhood plan when it's gone through from each parish and town council that's put forward that already. And it is welcome that they are getting involved in the planning process and residents have their say. So, yeah. That's been moved and seconded. All in favour? So we go on to item 7, the draft equality and diversity strategy. Councillor Paul Watland.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. This report follows on from the Equality and Diversity Progress Update report that was taken to Cabinet last month, highlighting the positive steps made so far. The Council has been working on the new strategy that sets out our approach to equality and diversity. In doing this, we have looked at our data, at local people's needs, and engaged with our employees and residents to support the development of this work. This will be a new 4-year strategy replacing the existing equality policy, and our intention is that it will complement, not duplicate, other strategies, many of which focus on reducing inequality as well. It includes our legal duties, responsibilities through the Equality Act of 2010 and the Public Sector Equality Duty. It also sets out the type of culture we want to promote throughout our workforce and in a way that we treat our customers. We have developed a new vision for the whole council and the communities it serves, along with a set of meaningful and realistic equality objectives for the short, medium and long term, for all of which will be driven by supporting action plan. The draft strategy focused on 4 main areas: leading our organisation and communities. This is our top level commitment for council leaders and champions that will help drive the agenda throughout the council. Supporting our workforce and elected members. It's about becoming a more diverse and inclusive employer, ensuring all our employees have the opportunity to be heard and our workforce to have the awareness, knowledge and understanding of equality and diversity. Serving our customers is about making sure the council's services are accessible to everyone, and celebrating and promoting diversity. It's about recognising and raising awareness of the different communities in Telford and Wrekin and celebrating the different cultures and faiths that we have. To ensure we achieve everything we've set out in the strategy, we have a supporting action plan which is in Appendix 1. The Equality and Diversity Steering Group have also been kept informed and has acted as a sounding board on the development of the action plan. We've also sought specialist external advice. Whilst a lot of consideration has already been given to the strategy and supporting action plan, there's more engagement needed to make sure it truly reflects the needs and feedback from our local communities, organisations and partners, as well as from our workforce. We are therefore proposing to continue working to facilitate a series of engagement workshops, with results being considered in February and March of next year, and the final report coming back to Cabinet in April 2002. I move the report.
Thanks, Paul. As a seconder? Seconded by Lee. Any comments on the report? Eileen?
Yeah, I really welcome this report. I mean, there's nothing more important to us, I don't think, more than equality and diversity, and I think when you put a strategy like this together, it just feeds into a better, well-rounded democracy, because we've got all of the different voices and community sectors that should be represented within the council. So I really, really welcome it. I think it's an important piece of work, and I would like to just thank Paul and the officers for all of their work on it.
Well, Andy?
Yeah, I certainly second that. I mean, I'm particularly pleased to see the comprehensive nature of it, you know, in terms of both the workforce and our communities, and the strength of our place-based work and our work we do in our neighbourhoods is key, I think, to achieving some of the objectives we've got here. I'm also pleased to see that we're taking seriously the business of progress and monitoring, because with these kinds of very wide, diverse reports, it's easy to make a lot of rhetorical statements, but we are determined, I think, this shows through the document, to actually make sure that we are delivering on some of these commitments. So I'm pleased to support this report.
Thank you, Andy. Nigel, anything to say?
Yeah, I'll fully support it. Just hope it achieves all its aims.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and seconded. All in favour of that report. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for that. So that's the last item on the... Oh no, it's me. It's me. I spoke so much I keep forgetting. It's me. My own policy. Right, this is a progress update on recommendations from the Customer and Digital Peer Review and key actions from the Customer Strategy. This report contains an update on progress against the actions from the Customer Strategy that was approved in January, and recommendations from the Customer and Digital Peer Challenge Review that took place in May 2021. Section 4 of the report lists some of the key achievements that have been delivered since the launch of the strategy, which include the launch of a new Ask Tom chatbot, which has received very positive feedback, the everyday Telford app being replaced with a new My Telford app with improved and expanded functionality, the introduction of satisfaction monitoring in our community and our corporate contact centre that has shown a 95% customer satisfaction score, the introduction of real-time feedback in our physical locations through the use of QR codes, as well as many others, with many more developments currently underway to be delivered before the end of March 2022. The report also contains a table showing accepted recommendations from the peer review challenge and provides an progress delivery update. Having experienced the peer challenge process, we want to continue to benchmark what we do and to learn and seek challenge from others in order to continue to improve. Therefore, this report also seeks approval for the Council to become members of the Institute of Customer Services, the ICS, for a period of 3 years. This is the length of time that most organisations take to gain Service Mark accreditation. The Service Mark provides a rigorous and structured framework that will help drive further improvement and is synonymous with customer service excellence. I therefore move the recommendations of the report and hope Cabinet happy with the update on the peer review. That's seconded. Seconded, Lee. Any comments? Lee?
Yeah, really welcome it. Fantastic to note the progress that's been made in this respect. The satisfaction rates from residents who do access and come to us for support. And let's not forget, they come to us for a number of reasons. Quite often in times of need for a variety of different reasons. The fact that we've put some effort into helping people get access online, I think that's really, really welcome. I also think that putting in place mechanisms for ward members, actually elected members, to do their job properly and take casework that we're receiving out on the patch and have a mechanism to feed it into officers so that we can respond as an authority, I think that's really, really welcome as well. And let's not forget that this is against a backdrop of massive cuts. Even despite millions and millions of pounds being taken out of our budget over the last decade by the government, we are still there as an authority at the front line, helping people in their time of need, being there when they need to access us. And not just the government cuts, we've also during that decade had to fend off plans from opposition parties on this council who in all reality would have probably outsourced some of this function or even fired most of the staff and tried to rehire them, some of them, on 10% less salary. So I think this is a fantastic report. It shows that during very, very difficult times we're still there for our residents.
Thank you, Lee. Nigel, got anything to add?
Yeah. Well, that's news to me, but I have friends in higher places than I do. So, yeah, the digital strategy, yeah, it's really, really good. Really love it. I think the only thing is, I would say, is just we need to be careful that we don't get carried away with all the technology, because not everybody has a smartphone, and a lot of people, particularly people older than me, might have a smartphone but don't know how to use it. So the thing is that we might get a 95% approval rating, but don't forget, though, it's 95% of the people that can actually access it, not necessarily 95% of the residents. I think it'd be important to advertise that help with these things is, you know, and fully advertise that it's available libraries, council facilities, community centres, so that people who aren't clear on how to use the technology and will have it can actually utilise it. The other point I'd like to make is that obviously connectivity can be an issue, particularly in the rural areas. So the thing is that we need to make sure that there's a backup system if you can't access the technology. And one comment that does keep coming up is that if you do telephone the council, there's lots and lots of messages, and very often, particularly people older than me, they forget, they get lost in the messages and end up hanging up. So I just think that, you know, sort of perhaps you need to just reduce the number of messages or make it a little less complicated so that it's in smaller chunks so that people don't get confused. I just think that,
Well, all I'd say is, I mean, we all understand there is a digital divide, and, you know, this council is doing all it can to work to alleviate that as much as we can. But as far as, you know, we do, if you remember the last time we presented the report, we said we would not do everything by digital because we know there are people who can't access digital activities. And part of the peer review criticised us for having so many channels of access to this authority. And as a cabinet member, I was keen that we retain those. And that's, so we've gone back and said we're not changing the channels because people might still want to contact us by letter or on the phone. And our corporate contact centre has excellent stats on answering calls. So although there's some people, you know, might get confused, we have an excellent rate of answering the telephone and dealing with all those inquiries. You know, so I will push back on that, Nigel, because I do believe that whilst the staff in the corporate contact centre and our staff at the front line do support people if they want help to access the on their phone, and they will of course have many opportunities and channels to answer the council on whatever issue they've got, because I've made that key. And, you know, with our complaints have gone down and our praises have gone up the way we're dealing with things. So I do say stop being critical all the time and look at the positives. But I'm just saying, well, they might have told you.
So I mean, I can only pass it on.
We've said what we are doing to make sure anybody can access this council, because we offer service to hundreds of thousands of people, and we want to make sure that they can get in touch with us the way they want to get in touch with us.
Just telling you, some people can't. So you need to do something about it.
Well, you're the council. If they're contact user council, tell them how to get in touch with us. There's plenty of ways, and you've even got a way yourself now, thanks to the members tool as well that we've opened up. So I'm really proud of the team at the contact centre, and I'd like to thank them for all their work they've done on this. And there's more to come, of course. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Thank you. That's the last item. So it's the last cabinet before Christmas. So I'd like to hope everybody has a safe Christmas, and hopefully people do what they can to see their families, and wish you all a very Merry Christmas and all the best for 2022. I'll close the meeting.